Hi guys, it's Tiny Tom Logan back with another video for you, and I feel like I'm miles away looking in the camera because I'm right over in the corner hidden out the way, but it's because I wanted to show you all this stuff because this is a subscriber video. So I've not done one for a little while, and I did post up on the Tiny Tom Logan Facebook page yesterday asking people if they wanted one. Because around this time of year, a lot happens at the end of the year for me, but at this time of year, last year, I actually signed on the dotted line to buy Overclock 3D, although the ownership didn't transfer until the 1st of December. But on the 1st, it is a year since I bought OC3D, or rather Time to Live Media bought OC3D. So yeah, it's a kind of monumental time, you know, big milestones for me. It's a year that I've been, you know, properly self-employed and all that kind of stuff, so lovely. Now, I have got something special coming for you on the 1st, but it's not the grid case. The grid case is something else entirely that we'll talk about in a minute, but I have got something new coming, a bit like the, well, not like the board case at all, but it is a custom case that we're going to be giving away to mark the year anniversary of me owning Overclock 3D and all that kind of mean fandango, and I hope you'll like it. It's all a bit, I'm not going to say last minute, but we've had some delays because of stuff not getting shipped from the States in time and stuff like that, but fingers crossed I should have it all finished by this weekend so that I can have it up live on the 1st. The reason why the 1st is a bit of a kind of cut-off point is A, I want it to go live on the day, you know, that officially it became mine, but also I go on holiday for a few days on the 1st as well. Now, it's nothing, you know, I'm not going on holiday anywhere kind of exotic or anywhere like anything like that, because I can only get away for a few days because obviously stuff still needs to happen here, and 90% of the stuff that gets done is done by me. So I'm only going to London, but that for me is awesome because it means I can go up and I can go stay in the hotel that I like. I can go and do the winter markets, winter wonderland, go and be a tourist, go and eat at Gaucho, which I love. Just basically go and spend a few days without my laptop and just chillax. And probably the only thing you'll hear from me is the occasional post on Facebook. So again, if you want to follow, you know, what I do personally, as well as, you know, stuff like this, because this does happen. I post regularly about stuff that happens in the office and stuff on my Tiny Tom Logan Facebook page away from the work page. Like this strange concoction here at the moment, that's my 7970 bench card, and the reason why we have to use the same card is so that everything kind of matches within the graphs. Now, we are eventually going to move on to a 280X, and we're just tweaking BIOSes, and by BIOSes I mean so that the stock clocks are right, so that the 280X will match the 7970 exactly. And I don't think I mean you know, the exact core clock. I mean, we're getting it so that they perform the same, because each card can perform, you know, slightly differently. And eventually that will get replaced by a 280X, but the fan stopped on the 7970. So I've had to bodge some Noctua 80mm fans over the top to keep it cool so I could do the review. And the review that I was doing is the MSI 78, yeah, that one, M Gaming. It's their M80X board, Z87. That's the word I was looking for. I was getting confused where I was saying Z. Anyway, so I've done all the testing for that. I just need to get this written up. I'm hoping to have this live on Friday, and I do need to film the video for it as well. What we've got going on in the background here at the minute, it's only looping Unigine because it's doing the thermal test, but it's the first of the 780 ties that I've had with an aftermarket cooler. I don't want to tell you too much about it, but it is the Pallet Jetstream, and it is really quiet because a lot of people were worried it was going to be really noisy, and it's much better than a lot of people were mentioning. 580s were really noisy. It's much better than that. So this is going to be another review. This may end up getting put up Monday as well, but again, I'm really restricted on time, so I'm doing my absolute bestest. So we've spoken about that. Other stuff, yeah, what I'll do is I'm going to pick it up and show you. Is the grid case. Now, it's all a bit mental. It was done by my artist friend again. I'm running out of favours to keep asking them to do stuff like this. But essentially, the way that come about is that I obviously, when the gold Asus boards first come out, I slated them, as in I personally said, it wasn't in a review, that I didn't like the gold colouring. I still don't. I understand why they've done it, because they've done it for the Asian market, because gold means a lot more to them over there, which is, it's just the way it is. But this is kind of me trying to make a good rig out of it, but as I'll explain when I do this, the gold is kind of really difficult to match. So if you just chuck a rig together and you have bits and bobs of everything in there, it will end up just looking like a rainbow puke rig. So that's why I've gone to such lengths of taking the gold to the outside of the case so that I've got something to match with. And then I've got the new gold Corsair Vengeance Pro RAM. And there's lots of little bits and bobs that I am doing to try and get things looking and working right in that. I've also got a pair of Gainwood 780 Ti Phantoms coming. They'll be getting reviewed, but they're probably going to end up in here as well. And I've got nice spacing on the old slots, so I should be alright with the spacing for the Phantoms. But we're going to be basing it all around the Z87 workstation. Now you may say, why are you using a workstation board, Tom? Well, to be fair, it's going to be like a posh looking workstation, eBay on my phone, posh looking kind of workstation stroke gaming rig as well. We use the Z87 because this actually supports quad cards, so both the cards will run at 16 times thanks to a Plex. So I do need to kind of look and have a play around with all that kind of stuff, but this was the gold board that I really, you know, personally wanted to have a play with. Out of all of them, I think it does look the best out of the lot, and the spec was quite good as well. Yes, it's expensive, but if you're going to be putting two 780 Tis off of it, which let's face it is £1,000 worth of graphics cards, why would you want to hang them off a £150 motherboard? But anyway, so we're going to be doing that, and that'll be something that will evolve hopefully before Christmas. I'm going to try and do staged videos with it as well. But there's a few bits and bobs I still need to do with the case. I need to wait for the graphics, although they should be here within the next couple of days, I'm hoping. I can guarantee they'll probably arrive when I'm in London. Another thing that we're going to be doing, now, this is in a retail box, and it's a sealed retail box as well. And you generally, if I was to get a retail sample from Intel, they don't normally come like this. But this is actually a processor that I bought. Shock horror. Now this is probably going to end up in my server, but I may make a review or a video with it as well. But it's essentially the i3 4130T, and this is the 35 watt. It's 2.9 gigahertz, but it's dual core, but then it's got hyper threading, so 4 threads. It's essentially the i3 Haswell, but like I said, it's only 35 watt. Now the i3 Sandy Bridge that I've got in my current server at the minute is 65 watt, so there's a massive TDP difference. So I want to see what the performance is like, I want to see what the memory controller is like. I actually want to have a bit of a play with this about, you know, could this be a good low power budget gaming CPU maybe. There's obviously home server use could be a very good starting point for it because of that low TDP. But yes, I know for a home server this would be massive overkill, but I'm thinking low TDP, when you actually want to use it, it's not going to be, you know, it's still going to be real quick and everything. Because I've got to admit, the most stressful thing that my home server does is unrar stuff. But, you know, never mind. I just let the RAID card do all the work. So that's something that's going to be coming up as well. And now this is a little bit of a sidestep away from the norm about what we'd normally do. But this interests me, which is why I bought it. Other thing that we're going to be doing, I've obviously got a massive pile of Asus ROG motherboards. Now the Impact is their ITX one, and it's got the little riser card and everything on it. Now the thing when you with the Impact, the thing with the ITX thing is a lot of people like water cooling. It's quite a short, you know, confined space, and a lot of people do end up water cooling them. Well, Bits Power have brought out a motherboard water block. And generally that means you cool the chipset, but with the a chipset and the MOSFETs, but that's obviously got a riser card on it. But Bits Power have brought it out so it cools the chipset, the CPU and that riser card as well. Now it's still sealed, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little video about how to fit this and how it looks. Now we obviously know that with the chipset and the MOSFETs it's going to make a big difference, but your CPU cooling, that's always going to come down to the spec that you've got your loop and your fans, and there's so many variables. We know it's going to make a huge difference, and I will talk to you about like kind of what I would suggest to be minimum requirements to run the CPU, well, the motherboard side loop. But as soon as you start mixing in graphics cards and stuff, you do kind of need a lot more surface area, and if you don't have more surface area, you'll end up either needing the fans running quicker, or your temps will go up. So you know, with a small system like this, you either got to sacrifice or plan things very carefully. So we'll look at options with that and how we can, you know, go about that moving forward. But essentially the video will just be about us putting the old impact motherboard, the block on the Bits Power impact block onto the board, and having a look at how it looks. And I've got the nice one as well, which is the nickel plated base and then the clear top, so that when you have your coolant running around it, you'll obviously be able to see it. So there's that coming too. Beyond that point, once I get back from London, I'll see whether things have fallen apart like when they did when I went into hospital. Hopefully 3 days away won't be complete carnage, and I won't get too many more grey hairs when I'm trying to catch back up again. But at the moment I'm literally trying to smash in as much work as possible so that I can chill out for those 3 days. But I probably will be spending most of Sunday scheduling stuff to go up on Facebook in my absence. So we'll see how it goes. But the other thing that is going on at this present moment in time is I have got some of the Xeon E5 2697 V2s. Now they are the latest Xeons to come out, and they're 12 cores and 24 threads. And I've obviously got the Asus dual socket board, I've still got it. So we're going to be running those, so that will be 24 cores and 48 threads on one board. So we're going to do another madness video. It is set up at the minute, but there's a couple of little issues that I'm trying to work out with it. So that's kind of, it's under the desk at the moment, and we need to do some more kind of fault finding with it. Don't know what's happened, because I've lent it to I've lent the board to a couple of people, and since it's come back it's not been tested. So I think it's probably taken a knock or something at some point. It's not the, you know, the board's died or anything, because it's hardly really been used. I think it's just, you know, because of being removed and all that kind of stuff and shipped around and systems and near there and at shows and all that kind of stuff. At some point something's happened, so I don't know whether I'm going to have to get it RMA'd or replaced or what, but it looks like a motherboard. But I just want to stress, it's not you know, it's died because of use sense. It's died because it pretty much has had a hard life. It's just in and out of stuff all the time, and where it's so big as well, it's all working fine. It's just not this. It's the Intel boot side of things. It's not initializing properly, so we don't know where. This is what I mean. It's complicated. We've tried it with loads of different hard drives. It's almost like maybe the BIOS might not even be right. We don't know. So I think what's going to end up happening is I'm going to take it apart and just send all the bits up to the Asus blokes so that they can have a play. And then if something needs sorting, they can sort it for me. But we will definitely be doing that, and that's also going to be a basis for a folding system for the OC3D folding team. Our team number is 98860. We're actually in the top 50 worldwide, which top 50 doesn't sound like a massive amount, but considering the limited amount of people in our team, it's actually an amazing achievement. And I'm hoping to start smashing loads of points in for the team with those Xeons. It could also be a handy winter heater for me when you think about it, by the time all those cores and everything start kicking off. But we're kind of hoping, because there's Xeons, that you know, the TDP is going to be low enough that it's going to be real quiet as well. But we'll see how that evolves. This is just something, again, it's something for me to play with and kind of use this as a learning tool, really, because I may even start dipping in with Linux and stuff on the folding, but really don't know. We're going to have a play and then crack on and, you know, get things going. But for now, I need to clear all this away. so that I can finish all this testing off, get this video rendered for you guys and get up, and then yeah, in the not too distant future you will see some more reviews. But for now at least, I mean, what's the time? It's got to be time for coffee, I think. Anyway, for now at least, this is Tiny Tom Logan with another video for you. Out. Ding! Say goodbye, Jay.
Goodbye, Jay.